Thank you, Madam Chairman. First of all, I wanted to give a quick update. At one of our last hearings about Obamacare and small business, we had a very compelling witness from Louisiana, Larry Katz, the owner of Dot's Diner. And unfortunately, I've followed up with him in response to his testimony. Unfortunately, it's gone from bad to worse due to he was forced to cancel policies he provided before, in particular so that many of his employees could still be eligible for a subsidy on the exchange. Now, he followed the law by giving 90-day notice, and he also asked and hired a consultant to come in to help his employees with the Obamacare exchange application. However, all the website problems have pretty much shut down their ability to purchase insurance on the federal exchange for now. The consultant is next coming in December 1st, which gives them 2 weeks to enroll. If his employees go to the individual market, they'll see an average premium increase of 54%. And if they can't get plans there on the exchange, there'll be 30 individuals who were previously happy with their employer-based coverage who won't have any coverage. So that's a very real-world but unfortunate update. In terms of questions, Ms. Kaufman, I wanted to ask you a few, particularly based on Congress and congressional staff going to the D.C. shop exchange under this special carve-out rule for Congress. Are there more than 50 members of Congress or employees that will procure insurance on this D.C. shop exchange?
I'm sorry. All of the enrollment for employers is protected information, and I'm not able to share with you any specific details about the congressional enrollment.
Based on the size of Congress, 535 members, and the size of their employee base, would you expect that number to be more than 50?
More than 50 people enrolling?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question. That's correct. The provision under the Affordable Care Act that speaks about congressional enrollment essentially overrides the small business size, and that's how you're able to avail yourself of the same choices that small businesses have in the district.
Correct. Is there any other large employer, meaning over 50, who gets the same treatment and gets to go to that exchange?
So at this time, the congressional provision the congressional provision only applies to Congress. But in 2016,
but forget about the congressional provision. Right now, for 13, 14, going into 14, is there any other large employer who has that opportunity to go to the D.C. shop exchange, or whose employees can?
In the city, we made a decision to limit the size of the small business market to up to 50 workers.
So Congress is the only large employer who gets that special treatment?
It's a function of of one of the provisions in the Affordable Care Act.
Okay. And is there any large employer who gets this huge subsidy well above the normal income-based subsidies of Obamacare in that exchange?
So small businesses in the district are, they also, many contribute 100% to the premium, just as you've heard from other witnesses. So small businesses, especially nonprofits in the district, provide Platinum Plus level of coverage to their workers and contribute 100% to the, many contribute 100% toward the premiums, so they do better than Congress.
But again, Obamacare has a clear distinction between under 50 and over 50. So my question was, are there any other large employers, which means over 50, who go to an exchange and go to the D.C. shop exchange at all, or go there and contribute this big subsidy?
So in the district, we do not allow larger employers to come in. In 2016, larger employers up to 100 can come in, starting in 2016. And then it will be a policy decision for the district whether or not to expand the DC Health Link to larger size employers.
What, in your opinion, justifies this completely different and better treatment for Congress.
Congress gets the same treatment as all small businesses in the district. You have the same access.
Congress isn't a small business. It's not under 50 employees.
So by going through DC HealthLink, you get access to everything that small businesses in the district get, the broad
I understand, but
choices.
my question
Your
is, what
time
in
is
your
up.
opinion justifies this completely different?
Senator
better
Vitter, I'm very sorry. Your time is up, so let me answer that question. The federal government is not a small business. The federal government is a large business, and the federal government, Congress, employees, postal workers, as you know very well, because you've studied this issue very well, is this under the same as large businesses in America. And that insurance premium is shared between the worker and the government, their employer. Now, that's not the subject of this hearing. We can talk about it. We've debated it. You've had ample time to debate that on the floor, so if you don't mind, let's take that debate to the floor.
Madam Chair, can I briefly respond?
No, you may not. And your time.
Can I briefly respond?
Okay, I'll give you 20 seconds to respond because you have a lot of time on the floor on this issue, and Ms.
Well, I certainly
Kaufman
didn't have
does
a
not.
25-minute opening statement here, so I'd just like to briefly
You have
respond.
plenty of time on the floor. You can respond. Ms. Kaufman does not have the time.
You're right that Congress is not a small business. It's a large employer, and it's treated completely differently than any other large employer, and far better by being able to go to this exchange, only large employer that's allowed to do that, and by being able to get a huge subsidy, only large employer that's able to do that for this time period or any time soon.
And if your bill passes, the only large employer that will not be able to get insurance would be you and your staff.